Tonight, to begin with, we've got the inflation rate for the month of May. It declined to 9.4%, a reduction from the rate recorded in April 2019. Deputy Government Statistician David Combat has been explaining at a press conference that the rate recorded was highly influenced by the declining rate of food inflation in the measuring basket.
The Statistical Service says the fall in inflation rates of the food and non-alcoholic beverage group was due to the fall in the inflation rate recorded for vegetables, fish and seafood and meat products. The vegetables subgroup recorded the highest fall in the rate among the subgroups of the food and non-alcoholic beverage group. Deputy Government Statistician David Combat has been explaining.
So you see that for the food group, you have usual coffee, tea and cocoa, fruits and vegetables. Usually during the rainy season, you tend to have more of this coming to the market, and their sellers are usually compelled to, to reduce their prices in order to be competitive. So I see that vegetables is contributing to this drop. In addition to the non-food, what we are seeing in the non-food inflation rate.
The non-food group, however, recorded a rate of inflation of 10.6% in May 2019. That was a 0.2% rate higher compared to 10.4% recorded in April 2019. The Upper West region recorded the highest general inflation of 11.1%, whilst the Ashanti region had the highest rate in food inflation. 4 regions, Upper West, Brona-Ahafo, Western and Ashanti, recorded inflation rates that were above the national average of 9.4%. And remember that we are reporting only for the old regions. We have not taken the new regions on board yet. Meanwhile, the Ghana Statistical Service says it is working on including the 6 new regions in the calculation of inflation.
Well, so it's now official. Global leaders in the production of cocoa beans, Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire, have suspended the sale of cocoa beans for the 2020-2021 crop season. This is to pave way for full implementation of the just agreed $2,600 floor price for cocoa beans, which has been agreed upon by global processors. There's more in this report.
Ghana and Ivory Coast have succeeded in getting an agreement with global processors and marketers for the floor price of cocoa beans to be pegged at $2,600 per ton. This follows an intensive 2-day stakeholder engagement which had ended in a snag on the first day. To this end, the 2 major cocoa producers, Ghana and Ivory Coast, have agreed to suspend sale of the 2020 and 2021 cocoa beans to pave way for the implementation of the floor price. Joseph Boahin Edu is Chief Executive of Cocoa Board.
Cote d'Ivoire and Ghana have suspended the sales of the 2020-2021 crop, that is, beans, until further notice, in preparation for the implementation of the floor price.
Both economists and the global players are to meet on July 3 for the full implementation of this deal. Speaking at a press engagement, Chief Executive of Cocoa Board, Joseph Boahin Edu, explained that all global players in the value chain have decided to join the efforts to alleviate the suffering of cocoa farmers.
Processors, manufacturers, and traders requested for a technical meeting to fine-tune the mechanism for the implementation of this floor price of $2,600 per ton.
Meanwhile, global partners have called for a fine-tuning of the proposal on July 3. This is when the technical team meets to ensure full implementation of the floor price on the global cocoa market. Earlier, the Vice President urged stakeholders in the cocoa value chain, including trade houses, cocoa processors and chocolate manufacturers, to join government of Ghana and Ivory Coast to address the high income disparity between farmers and the end users of cocoa products.
The wealth distribution is uneven along the supply chain. Poverty levels among cocoa farmers, who are at the root of both the supply and value chain.
The fixed minimum price or the floor price is to help farmers who are the backbone of the cocoa industry earn reasonable income levels.
Some perspective now from economist with Data Bank Courage Boti. He says such a move will benefit the economies of both countries. He spoke earlier to my colleague Sandra Afenu.
Inflation has been consistent, currency depreciation has been consistent, and the packets of these farmers always take a hit from some of these developments. Yeah, so price cannot increase on the market because how much government earns is what they also transmit, or a portion of it is what they transmit to the farmers. And then so if prices are not increasing, logically, you can't increase the farm gate prices also. And the argument have been that, and IMF even supports this to a large extent, that Ghana should have been reducing cocoa prices at the farm gate, given the prevailing market prices. Now, so an effort by Ivory Coast Ghana, who supply nearly 65% of the world cocoa bean, to try to find their own way of propping up prices to the benefit of their farmers and their individual economies is what is leading to this kind of suggestion that we're seeing now. What they are trying to do is akin to what OPEC does, control the amount of supply on the market, because essentially the price distortions we're seeing or the price tumbling on the market is as a result of oversupply. Right. Cocoa beans have been oversupplied on the market, confectionery demand is going up all the same, but then the market is still oversupplied. So a way of restricting that supply on the market to some level to proper prices to the level you desire. I think what they're looking towards doing now is having a certain minimum level price notional that they have in their mind, beyond which they will not supply to the market. So maybe if the price is just around that or below that, they reduce how much they put on the market significantly.
All right, let's turn attention to some other news tonight. Mining firms and manufacturing companies may have some downward adjustment in power tariffs soon if negotiations go as planned. This is according to Deputy Minister of Energy Mohammed Amin Adams, who has been speaking at the opening of the Ghana Mining and Energy Summit in Accra. It's under the theme Harnessing Mining and Energy Potential to Accelerate National Development. According to him, government is currently in talks with power producers to reduce the cost of power. Ebenezer Sabote has more in this report.
The issue of power tariffs continues to be a major challenge for industries, including mining firms in the country, despite commitment by governments to end the intermittent supply. This year's Mining and Energy Summit is geared towards finding a solution to some of the challenges in the mining sector, as well as harnessing opportunities in the sector. Deputy Minister of Energy, Dr. Amin Adam, speaking on behalf of the Minister, Peter Amewu, assured that government has opened discussions with the various power producers to look out for lower tariffs for industries, including the mining firms.
The ministry has been implementing interventions in the energy sector designed to mitigate costs and ensure efficiency. These interventions include renegotiation of power purchase agreements on cost of generation. And I have to say that the Honorable Minister is not here because he's chairing a committee that is negotiating with the IPPs to bring the cost of generation down. We are also recalibrating domestic gas prices.
He cautions that the recent view of prices of marine fuels is likely to affect mining activities.
We are also now going to use LNG through the Gensa plant to fire your operations. LNG will be shipped into Ghana. And so the shipping industry generally is going to be affected, and all those who depend on it will also be negatively affected. Because analysts and experts have said that the price of marine fuel is going to increase significantly. And I'd like to caution you that while you are strategizing to improve on your efficiency, you should not forget that additional cost is rearing its ugly head in front of you.
On his part, President of the Ghana Chamber of Mines, Eric Asubonten, assured government of a close collaboration to ensure the country derives the best from the sector.
If you look at or you go through the presentations that were given throughout, there's a very common thread you can detect in the messaging that came out, both from Gold Fields, Anglo Gold Ashanti, as well as Newmont. And it's the fact that all of them, or all of these companies, are looking at growth projects in Ghana. It is a testament to the confidence that the industry has in the jurisdiction of Ghana.
The summit is expected to end with a business-to-business engagement on Thursday.
The Bui Power Authority has set up micro-businesses for residents of resettled communities in its operational area. Under an alternative livelihood program, beneficiary communities will with equipment support will provide and sell services to the company. Chief Executive Fred Owari says the initiative will empower and make the people economically self-sufficient. He spoke to Love Business when the company made a donation under an initiative known as Samaritan Pairs to children of the resettled persons. Prince Apia has more in this report.
Most of the beneficiaries at Banda in the Bono East region and Bolibamboy in the Savannah region received crop and fish farming equipment. Under the initiative, the company is obliged to patronize the services of these micro-businesses to serve as a ready market. Fred Owari is CEO of Bui Power Authority.
So far, we've been able to establish micro businesses for some of them who engage in gardening, fisheries, fish pond activities, fumigation. We've bought them the necessary equipment and they provide the services to the authority, and we paid them as we would have paid any external contractors for them to be able to be self-sufficient as alternative livelihood for them. Beyond that, occasionally, as we've done today, we come here and demonstrate goodwill by giving them some presents, which we believe will be appreciated to promote good laborliness amongst us, because the project is $800 million mortgage asset that we are managing, and it's good that we foster good relationship with the host communities.
Nearly 190 households were resettled from the current Bui operational area. The power company has also launched a scholarship package targeted at children of residents in the communities in its operational area.
Providing scholarship for needy but bright students from the communities. We've gone through the processes of securing board approval and budget approval to put some money in account solely to manage that program. We're going to invest and make sure that it becomes self-sustainable. So we're going to look at all those details and determine how much it will cost to take somebody through a 3 or 4 year educational program, as well as catering for those who would follow suit.
Local people want the scholarship package increased significantly from the current 2 students per year. The scholarship is good news, but our only worry is that we have many children, so we want them to increase the number. These were reviewed when the company made a donation under an initiative known as the Samaritan Pairs to children of the resettled persons. The items included some educational materials and other kit items for play. Prince Apia reporting.
You're watching Business Live. Now, do you know there are skincare products that are good enough to eat? Yes, you heard right. Skincare products you can actually eat. And that's the hallmark of Skin Gourmet, founded by Violet Amwabeng, who aims to redefine beauty. Today on the Joy Business Van, we are at a Chim Hotel where she makes her formulas.
My name is Violet and I am the founder and the CEO of Skin Gourmet Limited. What do? So we deal in raw handmade skincare sourced from the wilds of Ghana, and it's so pure you can eat it. So today Daryl came by and he's going to come check out our studio.
Looks like a museum.
Really? Okay, so basically I have a thing about just letting things look straight and proper so you can actually see the labels properly, and this is how we started in my mother's gym, so I just decided to keep it going.
actually nice. So tell me more.
Okay, so basically the products that we deal in is we deal in a lot of raw oils, we deal in butters, and then we also deal in scrubs. So if you look here, we have cocoa and coconut butter, and it's great for your skin, but it's also a great vegan substitute in terms of butter. So our products are so pure that you can eat them. All the products here are edible except for black soap. Not because it'll kill you, but it's black soap, so we wouldn't recommend that you eat it.
A sore on her lips during Harmattan some 5 years ago got Violet trying a range of creams for remedy, but it was shea butter that would work the magic.
It was just regular shea butter from the market. I put it on my lip, and within 3 days, it was gone. I mean, no scarring, nothing. So I started wondering, what is the other things that I'm putting in my cream? So I started reading the labels and realizing that half of the stuff I could not pronounce. I didn't know why it was in there. And I realized a lot of things that we're buying is because of the aesthetic value and not actually because it heals us. So I started making my own body butters. At first, I thought, I'm probably going to make the best body butter the world has ever seen.
That was the ambitious Violet right there. She began experimenting formulas, and she wanted her products to be different.
As I started researching what it is that Ghana has to offer, I started looking into how Ghanaians make our skincare. And not just Ghanaians from the north, Ghanaians from the central region, from the western region. And there's one thing in common. They all eat their skincare. I mean, what do I mean? Like, if you go to the north, right, the shea butter they're using for their skin is the same best shea butter they're using for stews. So I started asking myself, why is it that we've moved away from this principle into a more Western principle where what we're putting on our skin is not edible, when at the same time what you put on your skin is going to end up inside your body. So technically, you're still eating it. So I started doing more research about the different areas. Why do they like to use shea butter? What is it about the nuts? What is it about the seed? What is the healing properties? And that's how we came up with our whole range.
In 2014, Violet made her first product.
Okay, so production is done by hand, and we do everything in small batches. You can ask these ladies. In one day, we can do about how many products in one day?
50 jars.
50 jars, that's one production. But in terms of products, we can even crank out about 5 different products in one day.
Wow.
The key is that our formulations are simple. Nothing complicated, nothing you can't spell, nothing, if it's not needed, we're not putting it in there. So I'm going to show you guys how we make our hibiscus sugar scrub, just because, as you saw, we're out of stock. And so we're going to see, and then you're going to taste it.
Nice.
Okay, so ladies, let's do it. So pretty much it's done.
It's done?
Yes, it's done. So I'm going to let you taste it.
Okay.
He just ate his skincare. Thumbs up. Well done.
That is what makes Skin Gourmet different from other products. They are so organic you can eat them, and the raw materials are sourced right here in Ghana. According to the Ghana Health Service, 50 to 60% of adult Ghanaian women have at one time or the other actively used bleaching agents. That's the extent people go to look beautiful. Violet, with her natural skincare products, wants to redefine beauty.
You have to embrace who you are and make sure that you're healthy. And in being healthy, your true beauty comes out. So we're redefining beauty in the sense that beauty is not something fake. It's not something that you buy. It's who you are and being happy in that. It's not something that you're doing to please others, but in that you yourself will be well, but not just you being well. The environment has to be beautiful because you're beautiful.
Violet has had to grapple with issues of consistent supply of raw materials locally, but that has not stopped her from building a skincare brand that sells locally and internationally. Her business is also environmentally friendly.
And one thing that we tend to forget is the environment. So as much as possible, we like to reduce the waste. If you look at our packaging, we use brown paper bags just because it's better for the environment. When we have to do bigger boxes, we use, for instance, cardboard boxes like this. And then inside, we actually use, this is waste. If you look, sorry. If you look in there, that bedsit is actually waste that we reuse, and then we send it out to the client to just reduce the impact on the environment. Also, if we have to make bags, we like to use recycled jute bags. These are the bags that the shea nuts come in, and then we have it remade into little bags that's good for packaging. And we like to use a lot of wood.
And what's ahead in the next 5 years?
I don't know, but all I know is that we are aiming for world domination. So watch out for us. We're coming for you. Every country in the world is going to know us. It might not be in 5 years though, but very soon.
And that's it for Business Live tonight. You can catch a replay on our website, myjoyonline.com/business. Of course, we've got the day's latest news also on that website. My name is Daryl Kwao. Thanks for watching. We are back same time tomorrow. See you.